Hi everyone, Susie here from Minnesota, and I garden in a zone 4B, and this is my June tour number 2. So the ground cover here is lamium, and it's doing really good. It's just started blooming. And then the shrubs in here are bobo hydrangeas. They're looking really good. One's struggling, but it's doing a bit better. This is a hardy geranium that I had started from seed, I want to say 3 years ago. I think it's Vision Light Pink. Then Palace Purple Heuchera, which I also started from seed. I want to say it was about 3 years ago, 3-4. And that looks really good. So far, this has been a pretty reliable heuchera for me. Oh, look! I didn't even pay attention. Oh. These will be bright red, and they'll last a long time too. I'm hoping till, I think usually around 4th of July, maybe a little bit after, but I think it's a Hot Wings Tatarian Maple. Look at that. Oh, it's gonna look like the tree is on fire. Neat. Well, in a good way. And then I also started this from seed a few years along with the other ones. This is a Pulmonium Jacob's Ladder. I honestly thought it would be a little shorter this year due to the amount of sun that I'm now getting, but it's still a little tall and lanky. I do like that ferny foliage. We have not had a whole lot of moisture here, so it's just looking a little tough. Every time they predict rain, it just seems to go away. The bees love this. I can always hear them buzzing in here. And then the Chantilly Lace Goat's Beard. Looks great. It's just starting. And then Lady's Mantle, Alchemilla Mollis, is also one I started from seed a few years back. That looks fantastic. From seed, it does take a bit. It's a little bit of a slower grower, so. The Sun King Aralias look fantastic. Golden Japanese Spikenard. It's a huge name. The mosquitoes have been horrible. I've been meaning to get in here and trim up some of the yews, but also these tree root shoots. But I can't get out of there as quickly as other spots, and they're just eating me alive. Huh. This is throwing off a bloom already. Last year it wasn't till the end of the season. This is Melting Fire Coral Bells. Oh, this one too. Which I also started from seed. This front area, a lot of these I started from seed, not these hostas. They're cool as a cucumber. This one back here is doing really good, probably because it's shaded out by some of the other plants. This Siberian cypress is finally starting to look great. It's starting to arch up a little bit more instead of just lay flat. So, which is fine. It can intertwine with this for the time being. I'm hoping it'll come out here. These hostas will probably have to be moved to a different spot. And just kind of repeat it with the Alchemilla Mollis and Chantilly Lace Goat's Beard. Still have a little mulch left. But again, it's just where I have to get to. The mosquitoes are just eating me alive, even with my bug suit. More of the Palace Purple. I'm still on the fence about this arborvitae. It's been struggling for the last 3 years. So, I mean, it is putting out some new. So, I don't know. I love the foliage, just the difference. Crossa Regal. This one's really doing good here. And of course, Curly Fries Hosta. I did mulch this bed heavily, but before I mulched it, I watered everything really heavily. This is the south side of my house. And then with the 2 huge trees gone, this just gets the most blazing hot sun. This is just a honeysuckle bush, native. Oh, it is gonna be blooming at some point. It loves its life here. It does run. I'm trying my best to keep on top of that, but I love this. If you can see in here, that's where it's. They are hard to pull, so that's the only issue. Japanese painted fern crested surf looks good. There's a mosquito right on the more pulmonaria lungwort. You can see it's now pushing through the big foliage. This one gets really beautiful foliage, a little bit more of the silver in there. My hostas are starting to throw off blooms. Oh, that's great. That's super early. It's only June 7th. That's called king size hosta there. And then I think these are heuchera I started from seed. I think they're going to be starting to bloom here. And they just get super tall. I don't know what color it's going to be quite yet. This is Crossa Regal and Regal Splendor. And this has some variegation in it. And then I just planted this. This is a false cypress sun gold. And I figure these heucheras are not always going to be here. They're just short-lived for me. But at some point, it's going to take a bit. It can just kind of fill in this area right here. I don't think that looked really good. I think this is gorgeous foliage. This heuchera is beautiful, that bloom. And it's been lasting a long time. I kind of stepped on some whenever I was mulching. The hummingbirds love it too. These 3 hostas here are all ones I started from seed last year. So it'll be interesting to see if they all look the same or if they start having some different characteristics. The only one, can you see this? It's on that leaf too. So that'll be interesting. More of that same heuchera. I think this is spearmint. I did buy this one. Looks beautiful. Again, this is one I started, but look how tall. I hope they're pretty blooms, otherwise, I don't know. And this is goat's beard. This does get taller at some point. I've got a mature one just around the corner. But there are male and female ones, and the male flowers are a little more showier than the female. I'm pretty sure this is male because they get just a little bit more fuller. And just have to be. And look, I planted these last fall. I forget the name. It's an iris, I think. Aren't they gorgeous? I had this batch and then this one over here. That one went over a little bit quicker. This one's doing a bit better. I have a lot of the Japanese painted ferns, the crested surf. So far doing pretty good. This is a heuchera I started from seed. That I like. I'm very happy with those blooms. I'm gonna have to trim this up. This is all Brunner out here. Few blooms left, but not a whole lot. We've got a cool down now. We've been in the high 80s, some low 90s. Things are just going through their bloom cycle a little bit quicker. And then this is just Staghorn sumac. It's getting, I don't know, flower head on it. And then I was going to show you, so it does colonize. That's why I have it in a huge sunken container, because you can see down here it's starting, which is good as long as it stays in the container. So I'm just keeping an eye on that. And the Sun Kings look great over here. I think this is a nice pop of color. And then the tree root shoots. This is a goat's beard. I would say it's about 5 feet tall, over, because back there it's a little bit more. This is a female one. It's not quite as showy. It's gorgeous, but you can see just a little difference. And then this is Sum and Substance, thrown off a bloom. Crazy. This is probably the bigger one. They're just massive. Japanese forest grass, Hakana claw. These look good. They're starting to run a little bit, which is good. That's what I want with them. These are my better looking ones. I moved this here for the time being just because it's just my luck and that all my expenses are happening this year. I had to get a new air conditioner. The other one was over 20 years old and it was shot, but it's a lot bigger. So I had my, hose holder. I don't know. There's probably a name for it over here, but I moved it so you could get in here. But yeah, this is a bit bigger than what I was expecting. So I had to move my rain barrel over here. It was more over there, so it's just a little cramped in here now. I might have to rethink some of this. But yeah, look. Oh, this one is too. Look at these, just need to push out. Look at all those leaves in there. But yeah. This is a beautiful pulmonaria. Just one little bloom left. Shrimp on the Barbie. Look at this one. It's just gorgeous. The sweet woodruff is done, but I love the foliage. Just a carpet of that looks really fantastic. This grass is gorgeous. I did have 3 of these in here, but there's one in here trying to come up, but that's okay. Ivory Halo dogwood looks good. It was pretty wilty the other day, and it bounced back nicely, so it's starting to fill out a little bit better. And the ajuga is starting to go through its bloom cycle, but you can't beat that foliage. That's pretty. This hosta here is called Wolverine. It is close to this one. This is Summon Substance. You can see it's just not happy here. And then if you can see, it's morning, but my trees gave so much shade and now everything's just in full sun. But the difference in green and blue, this is supposed to be blue, but it's just because we've been dry and I'm gonna say warm. Not very humid, which the humidity helps with the moisture. This still looks pretty good. Probably need to water it. The leaves are starting to curl. This is Komodo Dragon. That is a favorite. I love that ripply foliage. This is a Bequa drinking gourd. This has been bigger in the past year, so this is Sage or Sage, I'm not sure how you say it. Looking better. Last year it wasn't looking the best, so this year some of these are hiding the tree stump on the other side. I don't mind that. This is Dancing Queen. Love this one. So does the bee. And then World Cup is over there. Oh, we passed. This is Silly String. That's looking really good. I did see some rabbits over in here. And then more of the Siberian cypress. Oh, look at it. Kinky Boots is looking really good. So far, I mean, the ostrich ferns are doing pretty good. Some moisture would be welcomed over here. They're still looking great. I do want to come in here and kind of get that trimmed up underneath the tree. And then I do want to get rid of this at some point. I just think that's probably making a home for critters. And more of the Siberian cypress. So that looks good. It's pretty much a ground cover. Not this year or for a few years, but it'll fill out eventually. And I did get my swing put back. So far the hostas are doing pretty good. But I'm just, about the middle of July is when I'll probably start, unless if we get the rain. If we get a lot of rain, then all of these should be good. They do get breaks of sun, so that's nice. This one's throwing off a flower also. Oh, a couple of them. More Astilbe. Lemony Lace Elderberry. That looks great. This one just amazes me. This is Humpback Whale Hosta. And it does cover the stump from this side. This one just never lets me down. So far. And this one is king size hosta right here. These are just mini ones that I had. I don't know if it's Mighty Mouse or... So that looks pretty good. That's cute. They're just such a slow grower, and I just won't be adding any more of the mini ones to my gardens. And then This used to be a really, these are giant hostas that I have all around here. It used to be really big, and last year, due to drought, it just struggled. And this is what happens when you don't get enough moisture. Your hostas come back smaller. That's why I worry about, you know, that big one, but oh, this Sylvia is doing pretty good. It's loving its life here. This is probably one of my first Astilbes I've had. I've moved it so many times, and it's finally looking pretty good. I'm not the best at growing them. And then more tree root shoots I have to get in here, but this ground cover is Lamiastrum. It just runs all over. I do like that with the swing. I do have that back there, if you can see, the basket full of the liners, and then my dog's fur, and just so the birds have something to nest. I know the squirrels have been using it, so. I just wanted to show you this real quick. These look so good right now, the hardy geraniums. This is Biokovo. Love that. Hardy geraniums are a must-have in my garden. That being said, there are certain ones that are a little more tidier than others. This one is really nice because once it's done flowering, that foliage just stays there. It doesn't go all over and start looking ratty. So I do like that one. Can you see this hosta too? I want to say this is Niagara Falls, but it's going green. I try and plant my blue hostas in more shade, and I thought maybe this fence would shade it a little bit here along with these baskets. And then this one too. So it's just, it's lack of moisture and the more sun. It's just such a shame. Seducer is looking good. All of these were moved from a different garden, and they've just been placed here this year, so it's going to take them a bit to... Oh, do you see the evidence? Oh, those are... I shouldn't be too upset, but why? I mean, my dogs are always out here, so the fact that those rabbits would... And they probably know, they're fenced in. There's no way they're going to get them. Weird. This is One Last Dance. Another really nice one. Again, I love this hardy geranium. I'm just going to try and do this without... Because they do. The bees absolutely love the hardy geraniums. I do have one grass over here, and this is a pixie founted tufted hairgrass. And I was going to move it last year because it wasn't getting quite enough sun, but this year that's a whole nother ball game. So it's looking really good here. And then I love Alchemilla mollis. But these have been here for a bit, at least 6 years, 5-6 years. And then this is Bridal Falls. Oh, when they put in my air conditioner, they had to get through this way, so I think they ran over a few of these. That's why they're laying over. But that's a huge unit. Just love this one. All right, so that is part 2 of my June garden tour. Besides not getting a lot of moisture and a little more sun, all in all, I think everything's doing really great. Don't mind the lawn. I still have to mow, but I need to get a lawnmower first. All right, so hopefully enjoyed, and bye for now.